music power.
The SABC, I don't think, was too concerned with them, as they would call Cinderella or minor sports. So for your average listener, they would only hear on the SABC about sort of the important rugby and cricket matches. When we were covering cricket for Capital, I remember on a couple of occasions they would simultaneously be playing 4 Currie Cup matches at various locations around the country. And on the hour was the news hour. There would be 4 of us covering cricket at different locations. And after the news and whether it would be the sports, and in those days, the cricket was sponsored, I remember, by Natal Building Society. And after the news, they would the news person or whoever did the weather said, okay, now for sport, it's over to so-and-so at the Wanderers, and that person would give the report of the match that was taking place. Like obviously, Transvaal would be playing Natal or whatever the story was, and that person would give the sport. That person would give the score, and then say, right, for the match between so-and-so, it's over to so-and-so at Port Elizabeth. And in a matter of 6 minutes, your Capital listener would have the up-to-date, and when I mean up-to-date, we were live on air via telephone from the grounds, and your average listener, Capital listener, would be blessed by having immediate results from 4 Currie Cup matches, or Benson and Hedges matches, or limited overs matches, whatever was being played. However many matches were being played, those listeners were given up-to-date scores. I remember covering late-night Benson and Hedges matches. They would start at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon and would finish at about 10:30, and then I would phone through the result. Apart from giving the info on the news, I would give a match overall. I remember phoning and chatting to the late Oscar Renzi and giving him the final results of matches from Newlands. Saturday afternoons, it was motorsport. Thank goodness the two of them didn't coincide all that often in Cape Town. So Saturday afternoon from Killarney, I would give the results of national events. I was, unfortunately, I didn't get to hear too much. I would just phone into the studio and be put on hold and, okay, give the results. So I was unfortunately not able to hear all the sport that Capital covered. But I remember the one day there was the Hillsborough disaster, and everything was sort of put into a bit of a shambles because of the tragedy. So things were delayed and crossings were. It was an unfortunate disaster that happened. But I think listeners to Capital got a lot more sport coverage than they did with the SABC.